Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Arnold, your moderator for today's webinar event entitled, It's Time to Transform the Channel Industry with Committed Partnerships Through One-Click QBRs. It is rare when a topic comes up that touches a chord with so many at the same time. This is one of those times. We have over 1,200 senior channel executives registered for this event because folks across our industry are feeling the pain of how difficult it is to execute QBRs with their partners on a regular basis. Partnering in QBRs have never been more important or a more important part of a company's growth strategy. Thanks, Gary. If you are not familiar with successful channels, I want to introduce you to our 9-year-old company and the world leader in delivering QBR systems. Successful Channels provides cloud-based channel manager tools to make effective QBRs achievable at scale for our clients. We provide the systems and integration to eliminate the QBR-related administrative work. This provides your channel team more time to focus on building committed partnerships that deliver more channel-initiated revenues. I would like to introduce the presenters for today's webinar. I'm Scott Arnold, Successful Channels VP of Sales and Marketing and moderator for today's webinar. I've spent 25 years in the technology channel and scaled a post-startup systems integration company to 10x revenue by building strong vendor partnerships. Today's speaker is Gary Morris, founder and CEO of Successful Channels. To many of today's attendees, Gary needs no introduction. Gary is a founder and leader of 3 software businesses, a thought leader with deep expertise in channel enablement solutions, and a frequent writer, author of more than 200 channel-related articles and white papers. We also have a very senior and experienced panelist, Bob Lampkin, Successful Channels VP of Business Development. Bob represents over 30 years experience in executive sales, channel management, and venture capital guidance. Today's webinar is scheduled for 45 minutes. The presentation section is approximately 35 minutes, leaving time for questions at the end. If you have any questions for our speakers, please submit them via the Zoom chat feature. I will direct those questions to the appropriate panelist. Today's webinar is being recorded and will be made available on the Successful Channel website for attendees to share with colleagues who are not able to attend. Without further delay, I would like to present Gary Morris.
Well, thank you, Scott. I have to say that we are very grateful to have over 1,200 senior channel executives engaged in a topic that we love, which is QBRs. In fact, we think QBRs are the hub of the wheel. They're the center of what it takes to build strong partnerships. So I thought maybe the best way to start is to talk about what is a QBR? What are we really talking about here? A QBR is think of it as a mutual status. This is where we summarize the status on both sides of the partnership, where we stand. A good QBR includes key partnership metrics, performance metrics, capabilities metrics, co-development metrics, tasks, marketing. And why is it so important? It's important to keep partnerships aligned. It's just like any other good relationship. You got to really understand where each other is coming from, what each other is looking for from the partnership, and how do you execute these effectively? I don't think I need to tell anyone how difficult QBRs are because the data is everywhere. But the way you overcome it is you pre-integrate all of the critical components of your QBR and pre-build the templates so that when it's time to deliver a QBR, it's literally a one-click action. So we're going to talk about what's involved, how do you do that, what do they look like, how do you deliver them, and what we would argue, what's the future vision of what partnering should look like. Okay, so first, how does a pre-built, pre-integrated partnership look like? What are the components? This is an example of a QBR template that comes right out of our system. Again, we've spent 9 years dealing with this challenge and dealing with this problem. So the core components of a QBR system is a report that includes your key performance metrics, sales, pipeline, certifications. key capabilities metrics, things like sales enablement, marketing enablement, technical enablement, onboarding, all of the key tasks, action plans to help improve your effectiveness in your partnering, to turn your reds to yellows and your yellows to greens. A homepage for a summary of all of your business goals, strategies, and tactics, a marketing plan. And then the thing about planning and QBRs is all roads lead to tasks. This is why doing the channel management role is so impossible, because there's just too many tasks to keep track of across too many partners. So we found a way to simplify, streamline, and make the impossible possible. The other thing that we've heard, and we've heard over and over again from our clients, is it's not just a partner QBR, that the requirement is we need to do QBRs with our partner. The channel team needs to do channel team or territory QBRs. There's a need for regional QBRs at all levels. So this QBR, one-click QBR system is hierarchical. It's at the partner level and all levels above. So one of the biggest challenges, one of the things that we have seen over and over again about program design is that channel executives become a victim of their technology. They limit their program goals. They limit what they're looking for from their partners by the limitations of their technology. And we're saying, don't do that. Your channel strategy is your mission. Define your revenue targets and your pipeline targets and your certifying targets and your capabilities goals and your account goals, and let the technology serve your mission, not the other way around. Your technology is the enabler. That's what we're going to show you today, is how your technology can be the enabler of your program, not the other way around. So one of the questions is, and again, I don't think I'm telling you anything you don't know, is that why are QBRs so hard? Anyone that's worked in the channel for a while knows that data is everywhere. It's disconnected. In your CRM is where you can get partner accounts and contacts and pipeline and sales. In your PRM, there's tasks. There's also pipeline. There's leads. There's profile data. There's data in learning management systems. There's data in ERP systems. There's data in spreadsheets and Google Docs, even in proprietary systems, your own proprietary systems. So its data is everywhere. And now what we're expecting those channel managers to many times manually pull this data from these systems to create these QBRs in PowerPoint, in Word, and Excel. And they're not experts at this, so it's not a guided process. This is why it's so hard. So the mission here is to pre-organize the process. You know what you have to do, so let's organize a process that's designed to deliver it. So your channel team your channel executives can focus on delivering QBRs. Extract this data in advance. Bring this data through Salesforce managed package integration, API integration from Salesforce. The great thing about Salesforce is if you are on Salesforce, you can integrate data from these multiple systems through mapping to the respective objects of each of these individual contributing applications. You can do API integrations with other database apps and even integrate flat file integration for that outlier data. The point is, as a channel ops, as a channel sales leader, you've got to figure out how to get that data all together so that your channel team can be more productive. They need to be scheduling monthly business reviews and quarterly business reviews and reviewing mutual performance reports, reviewing mutual business plans, marketing plans, mutual scorecards, action plans, tasks, and exporting that so they're spending all their time being an enablement consultant, a performance management consultant, a business performance consultant, and not becoming an administrator of data and presentations. So how do you achieve that? As I mentioned, you need to integrate this data up front and build purpose-built templates. We spent 9 years doing this. In fact, take a look at the table of contents below. What we found when our clients tell us, they say, what is business plans for you? In some cases, a business plan is a dashboard of key metrics. In other cases, it's a capabilities plan. In other cases, it's goals, strategies, tactics, and details. Some cases, it's a marketing plan. Some cases, it's a profile of partner attributes. So those are all individual modules that can be deployed in configurable templates that can be populated with the status of all of these components. So this table of contents is built dynamically. Dynamically meaning you choose the modules and you're enabling your channel managers to generate the appropriate report at the appropriate time based on the cadence that you prescribe. So we've got 3 polls scheduled in this, plus a survey at the end. This is a great way to get input. I'm going to turn this over to Scott to serve the very first poll question is, what are you using for your QBRs to complete your QBRs today? Scott, can you start the first poll, please?
I will launch it now. This is a single choice question, so please select the one that best describes your process. And the poll is up.
So what are you using today to complete your MBRs and QBRs? Please select the primary tool that you're using to power your QBRs today.
All right, Gary, we're getting some excellent number of responses, so I will continue the poll as long as we've got active responses coming in. Okay, they seem to be settling out. I'll end the poll shortly, so if you haven't registered your preference, please do so now. Okay, I'm going to end the poll here, and I will share those results.
Great. Well, no surprise, desktop tools dominate. You know, when we get asked a lot, Gary, Bob, and Scott and I get asked all the time, who's your primary competitor? It still blows me away. To this day, billion-dollar companies are running their channel and are running big major parts of their partnering relationship on desktop tools. It is the pervasive option. It's disconnected, it's flexible, and that's the good news. There's a number of data analytics tools that are being used. I'm going to share some of those. PRM systems are also a component, and there's a handful of you using purpose-built channel-focused tools, which is good. That's an emerging start. So Scott, let's close the poll, and I think we can move on. Okay, so what wanted to give you is kind of a snapshot of what are your options. We've spent 9 years building a purpose-built system to build not only QBRs, but a whole web infrastructure for partner business planning, scorecarding, marketing planning, QBRs. And what we find is what the survey found is that desktop tools are flexible, they're easy to create, easy to adjust, but they're not scalable. You know, as a result, you know, it's difficult. They're difficult to use. Analytics tools like Tableau, Power BI, and Looker are also often used, but again, they're not purpose-built for scale. Many companies that have a legacy in direct sales are adapting their account planning tools that they use in direct sales for their channel. Again, they're good at what they do, but they struggle to provide purpose-built tools. And then PRM also are excellent operational focused tools. Those are tools that are built they're the front door of your channel program, built for the relationship between your channel, your partners, and your vendor. Okay, so these are some of the options that are available. So what I want to talk about is what are the key processes that you need to account for. I know there's a lot of different channel tools that are out there, and many say we all do everything. So I want to sort of try to sort that out. So there's the channel operations component. That's that pillar of activities. That's typically, how do I support doing business with partners, manage partner data, manage transactions like deal registration and sales and channel ops. There's partner sales-led processes. So those are the focus there is I need to build partner commitments, partner capabilities, manage plans and tasks, and drive partner-led revenue. There's the 4 largest budgets in the channel. MDF incentive, rebates and discounts. And those are typically finance driven because there's a lot of compliance requirements. There's billions of dollars at stake. So the compliance and reporting is critical. And then there's a whole range of marketing management processes related to demand generation and qualifying opportunities. So there are technology stacks that support each of these approaches. When you think of channel operations on the left, that's typically your channel data management, PRM, CRM, ERP. It's the front door of your channel system and your channel operations. It's critical to have these systems to run a compliant and operationally sound channel. But operations is typically the owners of those. Channel sales, your channel account manager, your channel sales managers are really focused on driving partner revenue and managing performance and building their capabilities. So these are tools that are focused on those roles. And then there are finance-driven tools like MDF, incentive, rebate, discount, fund, compliant funds management systems. So the purpose, again, of the channel operations, it's the front door of your channel program. It's your data source of truth. It's your operations. You have to have a sound channel operations system to do transaction management, data management, content management, training management. And on the right, the same thing, channel management, it manages your four most important budgets for allocation and approval of MDF, implement targeted incentives, administer rebates and discounts. The system in the middle, this is what successful channels do, is we don't compete with these, we complement these. This is to help efficiently manage partnering and partnership management, to build deep partner commitments, build deep partner capabilities, manage hundreds of tasks, drive partner-led revenue. So these systems don't compete, they integrate for a more efficient channel. You need the programs on either side. So we realize that we're a piece of the puzzle. So integration through data integration, through SAML 2.0, SSO, and user experience integration. This whole chat partner sales management user experience can be served inside of your PRM or your CRM. Wherever your partners or your channel managers go, we can fit inside those portal systems. So let's get to the second poll question. This question is, what's in your QBR? When you're designing your QBR, as we saw, mostly in Excel, Word, or PowerPoint, what are the different elements that you include in your QBR? Scott, can you activate the first one?
Here we are, Gary. And this is a multiple answer poll question. So please check all that apply. Okay, here comes some responses now. Good.
So as you're thinking about your QBR, what are those things that are critical for your monthly reviews, your performance metrics, what your expectations are for their capabilities, your business goals, strategies, and tactics, your marketing plan, your tasks, plan acceptance and approval, fund acceptance and approval. Who are the people on your respective teams? I have seen hundreds of Excel, Word, and PowerPoint templates from channel executives, and many of these are included in those sample templates.
Right, Gary, the responses are still actively coming in, so we'll give it just another minute, half a minute or so. There we go. We seem to have topped up. Let me end the poll now and share the results.
Okay, terrific. All right, well, good. This is, as we expected, the partner performance dashboard, those key program metrics, typically revenue to plan, pipeline to target, certifications, and what we call sales diagnostics, things like win rate, cycle time, which reps are closing deals, which reps are selling deals. That's it. That's that 84%. And the other business goals, strategies, and tactics, that's typically what people define as their frame of reference for what a business plan looks like. I'm also encouraged to see capabilities at 55% because that's what you expect from your partners. What are the capabilities, sales capabilities, marketing capabilities, services capabilities, technical capabilities that you're looking for them, and then to build enablement plans to develop those. 63%, I'm surprised, because oftentimes we hear that within a given partner ecosystem, let's say 200 partners, that maybe the top 20 to 30 are MDF eligible. So that's encouraging to see that either or maybe you're just planning with your top partners. Task is another area that is, I can see, I understand why, but there are so many tasks to keep track of. How do I meet those goals? How do I achieve those targets? There's a series of tasks that have to be completed in order to fulfill your goals. So that's, I would say, an improvement opportunity area. And then it's also encouraging to see both who are the people on my team that are involved in supporting the partner, as well as who are the key partner executives. I don't think I have to tell you, it's hard to put all that stuff together. Okay, so Scott, thank you for doing those roles. The other comment I'll make is that we're putting together a report based on the poll questions as well as a survey at the end. Anyone that completes a survey at the end, we're going to send this really interesting report on a profile of the key technologies and the key elements. I think you'll find that really interesting. So we encourage you to take the 1-minute poll at the end as well. Okay, so there are different packages, different components. Just what we just talked about, what's included. Not all partners, you need to do all elements of your program. So when we say this is the very easy flavor of your QBR and planning tools. The first would be we call your performance dashboard, which was 84% of you. This is your metrics summary. What are my key goals for revenue, pipeline certifications, sales diagnostics, et cetera, and what is my year-to-date plan? So this builds committed partners. This is automatic. You don't have to do anything other than setting your goals at the beginning. This stoplight scorecard is fed by a questionnaire and other profile data to see where you stand. It creates this stoplight scorecard. It tells you exactly where you are on both what we expect from you as a vendor and where you stand versus your peers. Partners love this. They love to see what you expect and how they compare with their peers. So this is really, we find, is a really important part of your partner value proposition. It takes 15 minutes to complete, and then you are engaged in a conversation that says, how do we turn your reds to yellows and your yellows to greens? Let's create an action plan and create tasks. So all roads lead to tasks, where you create a number of tasks to help define individual areas to improve. And then during your MBRs and QBRs, you're reviewing status. What's the status on not started, in progress, and completed? We also bring all of your opportunities together and allow you to sort and manage those. So this is the first layer that we say is very easy. You just set the goals and you just review and update it in a 15 to 30-minute review process in your MBRs and QBRs. The more involved process would be what I would call the next layer, where you might do to, let's say, the top 30 to 50% of your partners, where you actually create detailed goals, strategies, and tactics. One of the things we've learned, one of the best practices, the worst you can do is create a form that says, enter goal here, enter strategy here, enter tactic. They don't know what their best goals, strategies, and tactics are. They're looking to you as a vendor to tell them. So what our system does is helps you publish recommended goals, recommended supporting strategies, and recommended supporting tactics. When you do that, we have found that 9 times out of 10, your partners and your channel managers will choose from a thoughtful set of recommended goals, strategies, and tactics. You know what works, so recommend it so they can pick and choose those that work. They can always create their own, and that option is always there, but they're looking for a guided process. Tell me what works. Show me a path to success. And include things like your partner profile and your partner contact module. And these are convenience features that can bring this data automatically in from Salesforce. Another finding we found is that Salesforce, the partner contact information is always tragically out of date. But what this does is it brings it to the front. It'll show you, hey, here's all the partner contacts that are for Acme Tech, a partner. And then you can see, my God, that guy left the company 3 years ago. So this is becomes the impetus. Many of our clients will say, hey, this is the opportunity to go back and clean up your partner contact module and make it part of your business plan. And all of these are parts of individual modules of your overall QBR. And then for your MDF eligible partners, I say this is probably the most involved part, where you create, through a 6-step process, you create a business plan, a supporting marketing plan, a full lead waterfall forecast. You select the programs and funds, and then create a fund request, and then allocate and approve funds. That fund request gets sent to your globally compliant funds management system. We don't compete with fund management systems. We complement them. We're upstream. But this allows you to provide a guided MDF business plan, marketing plan, funds management, forecasted, and funds allocation and approval process, all in one integrated workflow. Okay, so as I said, those components, those can be turned on and turned off by partner. You can create different MBR and QBR templates by partner, by level, by region, by type. It's all flexible for you. The other thing is that you can see these are portrait style reports. We've been doing this for almost 9 years, and all of our exports up until about 6 months ago were in either in Excel or they were in PowerPoint in a landscape view. And so what we found is that you can't put that much stuff, and we created too many slides. So we spent about 7 months preparing and launching this new portrait view. It allows us to put more on fewer slides. And that's, we found, is user-friendly for everyone. You pick and choose which modules. You pick and choose which purpose. You design these for different. So a typical client would have a comprehensive business plan that has everything. They have their MBR that has only a subset of their performance metrics, a subset of their capabilities metrics, maybe the tasks that are only scheduled to be completed in the next 30 days, and allows you to focus less time. We're all about, how do I maximize the productivity and the effectiveness of your channel manager and make their job more fun? They don't like to have to pull all this data and build these reports manually. They like to be the expert consultant. This also becomes a critical part of your partner value proposition. You can be the vendor that says, hey, unlike all those other security or network or compliance vendors, we're the ones that are focused on your success. We're working on helping you build and manage your performance, build a more effective organization, manage the tasks that are going to become more effective, build ROI-driven marketing plans, and be there every month to help you along the way. Some other attributes of a best practice QBR system is the ability to match the look and feel of your brand. So this company, this is a fictitious company called Rapid Tech. You can see they have a red and black logo. There is a control called it's CSS, Cascading Style Sheet, that allows you to set. So we would set your look and feel so it's a seamless part of your user experience. Your QBR export can match your brand. We also have a set of default templates that you can pick and choose from also. And the same thing for the web experience. The web experience, this happens to be the homepage. The homepage is, think of it, it's paired with the QBR. It's a subset of your performance metrics, your capabilities metrics, your deal summary, your tasks, your key insights into your partner. These also match the look and feel of your client so that it's a seamless part. If you are providing this inside your PRM or your CRM, it becomes a part of that same user experience. This is served inside an iframe. So whatever portal you're serving it, it's as if you just added another web page inside of the existing systems you're already survey. Another characteristic of QBRs, I had mentioned this earlier, that QBRs are not limited to the partner. So this illustration is to show you that this QBR system is hierarchical. So in this example, this person, this channel executive is located in New England, in the United States, and she manages 3 different partners. She's doing individual QBRs with each partner, their performance, their capabilities, their tasks, their their status on all elements of their plan and performance. These QBRs roll up to a territory view for the channel manager. That's also one click. I can do a one click and meet with the Eastern region executive and show me how I'm doing. So I can do that at any frequency. The Eastern region director can do the same thing, create a QBR, which is a composite of these territories. And I can do it to the US manager. The US manager can do the same thing, get a report across all my regions, across all my CAMs, across all my partners to report to my Americas region, and the same thing with the Americas. All of the performance metrics, the capabilities metrics, the tasks, the status is all hierarchical. These regions are just examples. All of these are modeled around your business, the way you organize yours. So the point is, it allows you to have this plug and play. Yet another characteristic of effective QBRs is we know that most of you are running global channels. Global channels do business in multiple languages, and so do the QBRs. The same QBRs that I showed you are automatically translated into any Google Translate supported language. And that's broken down into 2 components. When you think about translation management, you're managing both application managed content, that's navigation, headers, footers, page guidance, et cetera, and then client managed content. That's all of your goals, strategies, and tactics, your scorecard, categories, topics, questions, and responses. These are automatically translated via a Google Translate. Now, we all know Google Translate's not perfect, but it gets you 70 to 80% there, and then you can modify it from there. The other thing, I want to kind of plant this vision, this idea for you, a vision for partner. We at Successful Channels, we're the QBR company. We view the QBR as the hub of the wheel of your partnership, of how you manage bidirectional joint partnerships. And all of these elements here are a core component of our modules of the QBR system that we've built. But it's not limited to this. If you're doing incentives and rebates and discounts and co-op, these are additional data that can be integrated via API into the same QBR system. Okay, so now you can imagine a comprehensive discussion and dialogue with your partners across all of these. It's now possible. Please don't say, well, we're not sophisticated enough here. We're still have a horse and buggy with our channel. You don't have to become a sophisticated partner to adopt this. This is well within your reach. All of the things, all of the individual partners, things roll up. So now I can do not only top down, bottom up partner management, but top down. I can profile and segment and ask myself, I want to see all partners that have more than 4 salespeople, are 120% of plan, sell into the high tech and healthcare, have added our logo to their website. So you can do top down and bottom up. I can segment and profile my partners. I can manage my partners. So let's do the last poll here, Scott, which is your channel systems. What are you looking to employ in 2022? So I'll just read to this, Scott. Are you looking to employ a new QBR system, new learning management systems, PRM, demand generation? What are the kinds of things that you're looking at or you need to update in 2022? I think this will be an interesting insight into what your peers are doing, and we're going to share this as a part of that report. All we're asking you to do is to take the 1-minute poll at the end of the webinar. How are we looking, Scott?
We've got some great responses coming in. They're rapidly increasing, so I'd like to give it another minute to
Okay.
collect the responses. Still active participation.
Great.
Thanks
I know
everybody for entering. Yeah, still very active.
some of you that have attended industry conferences, I won't name them, but where they do surveys of their members, provide really good insights into kind of what are our peers doing? That's what we want to do. That's our promise to you with these polls, as well as the 1-minute survey at the end.
All right,
so
Gary, we have a couple last minute entries, and I'm going to end the poll now
Great.
and share the results and ask you to comment on them.
All right. Well, listen, I'm thrilled that QBRs is a priority. I mean, I think just the fact that we had 1,200 registrants for this webinar is that it's the right place, the right time. QBR is the time. Enablement is critical. Operations, PRM, CRM are critical. And all of these, through partner marketing automation, fund management. So I think this is really interesting. We're going to send you these results. Scott, let's close the poll and move on. Okay, I just want to make sure we give enough time for questions. So this is a snapshot of what I would call a forced ranking of the top 24 channel enablement technologies. If I'm sure every person on this call has a slightly different opinion of the importance, but I think generally speaking, we can agree that PRM is the front door of your channel program. You've got to have a place where they come to do deal registrations, share content, partner finder, sign on, etc. 10 through 14 is your QBR planning performance management system. These are largely systems that are managed by partner sales executives. And it's not to say that incentives and MDF and to and through partner marketing and LMS are not important. It's just that these are typically part of a more advanced channel program. You wouldn't necessarily start with a to and through partner marketing if you're just getting started. You got to make sure you've got a place for your partners to go and sign up. So that's all that was intended here. We want to make an offer to you. So as an attendee, again, we're a software company, but we're also a services company. For those attendees, we have a URL on our website. You can go there right now. We have a limited number of free assessments that we're offering. Are you a candidate for a one-click QBR? Would your data, your integration, and your business process support it? We would facilitate a work session with some of your team members and build a QBR readiness assessment. We'd also say a kind of a blueprint of how can you identify sales acceleration growth with the design of a QBR and a scorecard, taking some of the best practices that we've developed. And finally, we can even do a quick start QBR to help you choose, how do you translate your program goals to your partner performance dashboard, your capabilities into a capability scorecard. Because we built so many capability scorecards, many of our clients will say, hey, show me what other companies are doing. And oftentimes they're using 50 to 60% of and adapting those capability scorecards. We're willing to share it for qualified companies. Okay, so Scott, I think I'm going to turn it back over to you. It sounds like we've got some questions in the chat, and Bob and I will be available to take questions for the next 5 minutes or so.
Thank you, Gary. That was an outstanding presentation. Yes, we've got a few questions coming in. One that I've seen a number of times is a question about our availability of the webinar. So I want to reinforce that, yes, it is being recorded. It will be available on our homepage of the website tomorrow, and the link will be sent out to all attendees as a reminder, and thank you. Secondly, we're getting asked about access to the presentation deck. So is that something that we can make available to the attendees?
We can, yes.
Okay. Let's see. We've got another one. If I'm already using PRM today, do I need to shift to your solution, or can it be easily integrated?
Great. Can I take that one, Scott?
That one's for you, Gary. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. So the answer is you do not have to, you don't have to change your PRM at all. We integrate seamlessly with your PRM system. We know that the PRM system is your system of record. It's the front door to your channel program. It's a critical part of your channel infrastructure. But we've spent 9 years building channel managers, sales, sales-led planning and QBR tools. We integrate with Salesforce and we integrate very closely with your PRM. I mean, literally it's through SAML 2.0, single sign-on, your clients can log directly into your PRM and they can be simultaneous logged into successful channels, and we can serve our entire user experience right on your PRM page. So if this is of interest, we can collaborate with you and your PRM vendor to have a very integrated user experience of both.
All right, I have another question. How much time does it take typically to integrate all of the data to build these one-click QBRs? Bob, maybe you could take that one.
Yes, obviously it varies from company to company, but typically we're looking at no more than 30 to 60 days. And that process is really supported by the kinds of assessments that are done up front, so that you have the ability to start as quickly as possible. So yeah, roughly 30 to 60 days.
Thank you, Bob. Here's a very specific one for you, Gary. Are you taking a set of objectives based on partner status as a standard, or recommending individual lists per partner?
Well, I think if you're saying like recommending goals for silver partners, gold partners, or platinum partners, or capabilities for each of those, I think what we have found is you have the opportunity to be very prescriptive for your partners. What's their partner type? What's their partner size, partner level? So everything in our system can be deployed conditionally based on level requirements. It could be based on regional requirements. It could be based on partner type. I mean, partner type is really interesting because partners are just evolving so much. A reseller and a referral partner is also an MSP, is also an ISV. So, but each of those partner types have different requirements and different components of the partnering relationship. And those metrics, capabilities, and performance metrics and goals can be activated based on whatever type of partner they are. So it allows you for a much more flexible partnering enablement system.
Thanks, Gary. Here's another question. Just a simple one. Is there a size of a company that is best suited for this QBR system? Bob, perhaps you could take that.
Again, it depends. We have had clients with as few as 5 to 10 partners, and others as much as 1,000. The reality is that all companies, regardless of size, really do need to focus on a QBR, and having a technology that makes it easy for them to use is really what's going to be the key factor.
Or just to reinforce something that Scott said, is that you are not too immature. You don't need a certain level of maturity to implement this. That many companies say, boy, we're just getting started with our channel. We don't need these sophisticated tools. I would argue the exact opposite. This becomes the enabler to blueprint a scalable channel. Okay. If you're managing 3 to 5 partners, no, you don't. You can run those off of spreadsheets. But I can guarantee you very few people that are on this webinar are building a channel for 3 to 5 partners. They're building it for scale. And you need to think about, how do I build performance management at scale, capabilities management at scale, tracking tasks and managing QBRs at scale. Otherwise, you're just not going to get there. I'm sorry, Scott, other questions?
Yes, I think we've got time for 1 or 2 more. Do you have a LATAM team to make the assessments? Is that in a Latin America team for these type of assessments? Gary, would you like to take that one?
So I guess the question is, do we have a team in language? No, but we have partners that do. So we have services partners that support us with language services around the world.
All right, we have this one and perhaps one more. Do you have an approved process mechanism for both the vendor and the partner that which they need to confirm that the QBR was completed, as well as for the agreed upon business plan?
Let me take that. So there's two things. One is in our system, we have a DocuSign plugin. So in our system, partners accept the plan and vendors approve the plan. In both cases, again, it's a configuration. You can decide if you want to employ that, but if you do, it's a nice, it's not a binding thing, but it's a way of formalizing the acceptance of the plan and the approval of the plan. The other component that you referenced is completion of the plan. We have a gamification system that says, did you do the QBR? Did you present your partner performance dashboard? Did you complete your capability scorecard? We have a whole gamification dashboard that allows you to track at whatever frequency that you want. So the nice part is you can architect the cadence. You can decide, hey team, we want you for gold partners, we want you, or platinum partners, we want you to complete an MBR. For gold partners, we want you to complete a QBR and a task review. All of the aspects can be gamified and can be tracked and be reported. So you can keep track of, where do I stand across my whole ecosystem on all components of my QBR and partner management process.
Thank you, Gary. I think that covers most of the questions. We want to be respectful for everyone's time. And I have a reminder that I'm going to end the seminar now, but please stay on for just 1 minute while you answer and participate in our survey. And we'll be sure to share those results with you if you can stay on and participate in that survey. Thank you very much. Well done, Gary. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, one other point. There have been a number of questions that we have not been able to answer, but I am sure that we'll be able to answer them in the responses that we get later on. So thank you so much for all these questions, and thank you so much for attending.
Thanks, everybody.
Bob, that's a good reminder. I have put our contact information in the chat in case you didn't grab it during the presentation. All the best. Thank you. Bye now.